I was in this cell and I phoned up my cousin and he went, look, Aaron's died. And I knew that was me done. I didn't want this life no more.
Like a little girl said to me the other day, Jim, why have you got a Barbie bike? Does have a bit of motivation, she's training a bit. No, otherwise you look like a fucking idiot. Take care, mate. I'll see you tomorrow. Love to meet you, mate. I'll see you later, mate. Lovely to meet you as well. Take care, yeah?
Oh,
how are you?
Nice to meet you. How are you doing?
I'm good, thank you.
Yeah?
I'm really good. This is Nicky, by the way.
Nice to see you, John.
Yeah, mate, it was lovely to meet you.
I'll see you at some point tomorrow.
No, yeah. Have a look around, like the whole table just like locked onto me. You John McEnroe? I said, yeah. And in fact, I started getting embarrassed because everyone was just looking at me. Who the fuck's this fella?
I grew up in South London. My actual real dad passed away before I was born. When I got to 8 years old, this man came into our lives. He was the first male that I looked up to him. It transpired that he was a prolific armed robber. He had 5 acquittals at the Old Bailey. He was a millionaire when he was 21 years old. He'd been shot by the police 2 times. He was a serious criminal, like involved in organised crime. Being a young boy, I was completely blinkered by it, and then I made the decision, when I got to about 14 years old, that that was the path I was going to travel down. Criminality was normal. The system, hating it, the police, detesting them, government, they were all the enemy. When I was in Spain, I was basically living like a million miles an hour. It was all about money. Money, 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 money. Big houses, nice cars, watches. The more money you had, the more successful you was. I was still committing crime, and my best friend was with me, Aaron, and we thought we'd made it, to be perfectly honest with you. I only come back here temporarily for a week. That was it. And there was a guy called Kevin, one of my stepdad's best friends. He said to me, do you want to do this robbery? What I didn't realise was he had a 100-man surveillance team watching him for 2 months. I got ambushed.
Okay, roger that. It's about 30 seconds from the junction point and line, and that's a deviate, stand by.
These guys just, it was like a tsunami of police running towards me with machine guns, and they were screaming, get down, pointing the gun at me, and I really did think I was going to be killed. I got 2 life sentences with a minimum tariff of 5 years. The judge believed that because of my links to serious and organised crime, that the likelihood of me being rehabilitated was very low. I went to Belmarsh prison. I was in a high security unit there. And then I spent the next year of my life locked in this tiny 6 by 11 foot cell. And one day, I phoned up my cousin and he went, look, Aaron's died. One night, he decided to commit a crime for money, and it ended his life. I'd never experienced emotion like it. I had a watch on my wrist that was worth like £16,000, and I had it in prison because I was so arrogant. And I looked and I thought how pathetic it was, and I knew from that moment I didn't want this life no more. I needed to remove myself from that environment, but I was trapped. I had to start off doing these circuits in my cell. It made me feel alive. So I then started going down the prison gym more. Never been on a rowing machine in my life, 26 years old. First time I got on it, rode nearly 20 miles. And I remember my back was aching, my arms were aching, but when I was on that rowing machine, it completely took me out of prison. And one day, a prison officer called Darren looked over my shoulder and he went, wow. Come back a couple of days later and he gave me all these pieces of paper and I had all these world and British records on a rowing machine. And I went down that prison library and I started reading autobiographies of all these Olympians. And it opened up my eyes completely. I was like, I am like that person, the will to win and the drive and the focus. I asked Darren if I could attempt the world record for the most amount of distance rode in 24 hours. I set off at 5 o'clock in the evening. I had never been in this territory in my life. When I got to the early hours of the morning, I was in such a dark place mentally. I was so tired. I broke the world record. I broke it by 13 miles. Darren said to me that day, you've got the ability to suffer. Even if you come out of prison and you come back in here, it'd be the biggest travesty I've ever seen as a prison officer. Everything I knew up to that point was crime. I completely turned my back on it. It opened up my eyes to a whole new world. I wanted to be a professional athlete. I watched this program called Ironman. I was in awe. And I realised I could still turn professional at any age. So I thought, that's what I'm going to do. I went off, bought a bike. It was too big for me. I taught myself how to swim off YouTube videos, and my social circle completely changed overnight.
It's really great to see him doing so well.
Lots of people gave up on me, and Darren didn't. He was a prison officer and I was a prisoner. Without him doing those things, I wouldn't be here today. And now I'm an avid believer in, like, if you can help people, you should help people.
And that's why I'm so passionate now about going into schools and talking to kids and going to prisons and demonstrating you can achieve amazing things with your life.
The only thing that's important in life is what you believe. Not what other people think you can and can't do, it's what you believe in your heart. Me turning professional will allow me to demonstrate to these children that you can achieve absolutely anything with your lives. And that's what motivates me every single day.
In an Ironman, you're going to suffer. It's going to take 9, 10 hours. Being confined to a cell for 24 hours a day, you have a real high boredom tolerance, which is good when you do an endurance sport. You're going to ache, hurt, your body's going to scream for you to stop. But when you've nearly been shot by the police and been locked up in maximum security units, when you sit, that's challenging to get through that psychologically. 2016 was a massive step up in my performance. I was one of the highest ranked GB athletes at the European Championships, so I decided to do Ironman UK as my chance to turn professional.
Give you some wise tips here. When you stick this stuff in your goggles, always remember to wash them out afterwards. If you don't, you end up going blind, which I've done before. I've stuck that on and it's gone in my eyes. It is a bit cold, to be honest. It's not as warm as the Med.
An Ironman is a 3.8 kilometre swim. It's a 180 kilometre bike ride, and then you get off and then you run a marathon.
Tomorrow morning it'll be like a harder activity. People will be like just very nervous. My stress is more not reaching my goal because it's such a long distance. Like, so much stuff can go wrong.
How you feeling, John?
Feeling a bit tired, to be honest. So I just have to go out there and just see what's what on the day. Roll the dice again.
First, new message.
John, you've done an incredible amount for everyone else this year, so enjoy this one for yourself.
I'm so proud to share your incredible journey. I'm looking forward to seeing that massive smile on the finishing line and a McAvoy hug.
Whatever happens, it's all been amazing, and I'll always be here for you, buddy.
I knew I needed to go sub 9 hours and 20 minutes to turn professional. When I got out of the swim, I could see that I was well down on where I should have been. I knew I just had to grit it out.
I just want to see you run over that finish line with your head held high.
You have made me such a proud man, mate. What an incredible journey you've been on.
I didn't feel great. My hamstring injury started coming back. I felt very sluggish.
When you get to that point, you get into a dark place, just remember what you told me. It won't last, you'll get through it and you'll come out the other side.
On the run, when I probably got to about 20 miles, my hamstring felt like it would just snap.
Come on, John.
I always draw back to those words that Darren said to me in that prison gym. You have got the ability to suffer.
John.
Go on, John.
I knew I needed to go sub 9 hours and 20 minutes to have a chance of getting 8% to turn professional. I knew the first 20, 30k of the bike that was not going to happen. And then it was just all about that self-motivation of not giving in and not quitting. Like, I couldn't stop. I can't quit because it's not in me, I cannot do it. Like, I couldn't stand up in front of a school full of children and turn up and say, don't ever give up and chase your dreams, and then suddenly when my back's up against the wall, I just throw the towel in and say, oh, I give up, it's too difficult, or I can't be bothered today. Like, I couldn't physically do it. Unless I passed out, I collapsed, I couldn't physically stop. The years of my life that I wasted in prison, I take a lot of positives out of that situation. I'm on my own journey now. I want to prove nothing's impossible in life. I am no different to any person that's in prison. Anyone can change, and change is possible for every single person. It took me to sit in a prison cell to wake up an ability in my body that I possessed from when I was your age. I am as driven to stop and prevent as many young kids as I possibly can from going down the road that I did. You can achieve amazing things with your life. Like there's a big world out there, and it doesn't matter where you come from, it's where you end up that counts. You just need to keep persevering at it, no matter how tough things get. It isn't going to be easy, and you'll have setbacks, and you won't achieve your objective the first time round, but that's life, and when you accept that and you just think, even when it does get tough and your back is against the wall, you just keep moving forward all the time, amazing things will end up happening. I will achieve that goal. It might take another year, it might take me another 2 years, but I will eventually end up doing it, because I won't stop. I watched this program called Iron Man. I was in awe, and I realised I could still turn professional at any age, so I thought that's what I'm going to do. I went off, bought a bike, it was too big for me. I taught myself how to swim off YouTube videos.